Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to upload our barbecue grill file into Design Space and Silhouette Studio. So the first thing you need to do is open the file into Design Space. To do this, go to Upload, Upload Image, Browse, and then navigate to the image, the file that you have downloaded. There will be two SVG files, one that says dashed lines and one that says scoring disk.
And one that says dashed lines.
I'm going to show you the scoring disk one first.
You want to use.
So just go ahead and click on it.
Show you both.
And then open.
The scoring disk file. Check open.
Click save. And then click on your image and insert image. And then it will open into Design Space. Now the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and resize the file so that this large grey piece is about just under 11.5 inches, so that it will fit on a piece of either A4 card or a 12 by 12 card. To do this, all you need to do is use the circle in the corner of the box and just click and drag.
So just click and drag.
Once you've done that, we're going to zoom in and then ungroup the file.
Now ungroup the file.
Once the file is ungrouped, then what we have to do is tell Design Space which lines we want to be folds or score lines.
All these lines.
We do this by clicking on all of the score lines.
At the moment labelled cut.
It's probably easier to use the right hand menu to do this.
Design Space that when we go to cut, that we would like these lines to be scored lines instead. The way to do that is just to click on each line using the Shift key.
So if you're using the right hand menu, just click all of the vertical and horizontal cut lines. Whilst holding down the Shift key.
Either on the project itself, or it's probably easier to use the menu at the right hand side. So you need to select all the vertical and horizontal lines.
I think they've all been selected. I'll just scroll down and double check.
Okay, everything else looks like it's an object.
Yep.
Okay, and
then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top menu. Oh, actually we just need to make sure this circle is selected as well, the smaller of the two circles. And go to the top of the menu where it says cut and use the drop down menu to change it to score. And then they will turn to dashed lines. They're not really dashed lines, they will be score lines, but it's just the way Design Space shows it.
The only one that we actually want to be a cut
and just one thing to check is to make sure this line here is actually a cut line.
It needs to be changed back to a cut line.
So again, if you've accidentally changed it to a score line like I have, just use the drop down menu to change it back to a cut line. Then what we need to do is tell Design Space which lines go with which shape to make them all one object. We do this by selecting the lines that go together in the right hand menu and then clicking the attach button like I'm doing here. So all we need to do for this is the 3 smaller grey pieces. Ignore that. And then once we've done the 3 smaller grey pieces, we have to do the large grey piece. and its lines. This is so that when we ask to Design Space to send our design to cut, it knows which lines to keep with which shape. Otherwise it separates everything out. And click attach, and then the last one to do is just the two circles together here. And once you've done that, we're ready to cut. So you can do send to, well, make it. And the easiest way to check is just to scroll down to the large grey pieces and make sure that all of those pieces are in place like this. And then you're ready to cut. So now what I'm going to do is show you how to use the file with the dashed lines. So I'm just going to delete this one. And using the same process that we did before, open the one that says dashed lines. This is in case you don't have a scoring wheel or you prefer the effect of the dashed lines. The file is quite big, so it will take a little while to open, and when you're doing things with the file, it might take a little longer than with the one where we're using the scoring wheel. So here's Design Space telling us it's a large file. And here's it opening. The reason it is large is because we have so many different objects, because each little dash is an object itself. Again, the first thing we need to do is resize this file just like we did with the last one, so that it's just under 11.5 inches. Once you've done that, ungroup it. And then when it reappears after it's been ungrouped, what we need to do is just go through the same process that we did before of joining all the lines together to each of the objects so that Design Space knows which lines go with which object. So all I did was click and drag round the lines and the objects that needed to be together and use the attach function on the Design Space menu. It may take a little while for it to realise that you've asked it to attach, but once it's done, then just go ahead and do the others. I speeded this up slightly. There we go. So once we've done that, again, we're going to go to the Make It menu just to make sure that everything is in the right place. Here we go. So what it's saying at the top there is that our base card is actually too long, and what we need to do is just go back and resize the file altogether. But other than that, everything looks fine and all the lines seem to be attached properly. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to open the file in Silhouette. So if you open your Silhouette program and then go to Open, navigate to the file, now I would always recommend that you chose the one that says the scoring wheel. Although Silhouette doesn't have a scoring wheel, Silhouette will read these as dashed lines anyway, with everything attached, so that's generally the best one to open. Again, just resize the file by clicking and dragging. And then once you've got the file to the correct size, you can ungroup it and move things around so that you can cut everything out in the colour you like.